Hey Kings, got something a little different for you today. A few days ago, we had a nice little dueling tournament on White Main. It was a lot of fun, and some great PvPers were out there. This time, I'll just be showing my duels in the tournament instead of the whole thing. I wasn't getting the greatest footage of all the fights. I was more there just enjoying the moment. I haven't been part of a dueling tournament in a long time, so I was excited to just be there chatting, relaxing with the people. Next time this happens, I'll definitely make sure I get better footage of the fights so I can commentate them. But for now, we're just going to go with my fights in the tournament. The rule set for this tournament was gentlemen's rules, meaning no potions, no rocket helm, grenades, and class consumes only. And also, best 2 out of 3. Without further intro, we'll jump right into my first match. Hope you enjoy. So my opponent here is Calendar X. He's a really good rogue. He beat another rogue round 1 to face me round 2. The tournament actually began for me round 2 because I had a bye for round 1, meaning I didn't have to fight anybody. So he had a rogue v rogue to meet me in round 2, which is unfortunate for the rogues. Rogues is probably my best matchup, the one I understand the most. So I was pretty confident going into this fight, especially in a best 2 out of 3. That is a nightmare matchup for a rogue going against a druid. He has a lot of cooldown management to think about, where I really just have to think about my innovate. Calendar opens with a completely standard rogue opening. Cheap shot into combo point builder, into gouge, into kidney. Pops the evasion after I miss my bash. Not too worried. Pretty standard rogue duel. I'm kiting him away because he has evasion up. He does catch me here with the Goblin Mortar, which forces a trinket out of me, which I hate. I love having my trinket up as long as I can versus a rogue. So props to him for that. Didn't see it coming through the woodwork. He's doing the old dead zoning. Big crit from Maul there. That's what I'm looking for. Blind into bandage. Probably the best use of your blind if you're a rogue versus a feral druid right here. Nothing too crazy going on to commentate, just doing some strafe kiting to make sure he doesn't backstab me. Abolish poison so I don't get prep blinded. Little rejuve. Keep my health high. Bashes off cooldown, that's good. Kidney shot, he's just dumping some damage into me. Bash lands, love to see that. Cat form, get a backstab off. Abolish poison again. This right here, this is nightmare fuel for me. The enormous Tauren hitbox gets me gouged there. And if this guy had gear, I would be dead 4 times over here. So I'm just lucky that this guy didn't have max gear. I completely deserved to lose the fight in this moment. So I'll take that win, but that did not feel great. I gotta be honest with you, getting caught out of form like that. Jumping into round 2, just waiting on him to open. Put on Borrowed Peasant Collar. It's a good trinket versus a rogue. Maybe you'll interrupt their bandage or just mess with their timings a little bit because they have a bunch of peasants hitting them. Opens on me with a cheap shot into the gouge. I was thinking this was a little awkward, but then he hits me with the 6-point kidney. I realized that he had some combo points on me from the previous duel. A little cheeky rogue maneuver there. Hit him with the Fairy Fire. Immediately into the Abolish Poison. Pop the trinket. I know he's hurting on cooldowns right now, so I can just take this really standard, just engage with him, sit there and maul him down. Bash into cap form, get a little backstab off, right into the Abolish Poison again. Moonfire, Bear. Pretty standard rogue duel right here. That felt much cleaner, much better than the first duel. But he still got some fighting in him. You'd love to see that. Gets the bandage off. He's not going to go down without a fight. Almost catches me in out of bear form right there. Yeah, not much to say. Just grinding him down. Some great duels from Calendar there, honestly. Being an undergeared rogue, fighting a full-piss feral, it's not going to be an easy fight no matter how you play it. I think he played it really well. The only criticism I would have of his play is I don't think you should run mind numbing against a feral. You should either go with crippling, or crippling instant, or instant if you're a psychopath. GG's to Calendar, and on to round 2. My next match of the tournament was against Sasha and Affliction Warlock. Sasha's pretty good. We went 1-for-1 in our warm-up duels, so this match was anybody's game. I think Affliction Warlock has a slight advantage over Feral Druid, but not by much. For the first duel, I went with my standard PvP setup, Burrower Shell and PvP Trinket, Old Faithful. Wasn't feeling too great about this match, not gonna lie. Maybe, best of 1, where I can go all in, use Innervate and my trinkets, I can beat a Warlock, but in a best of 3, changes the metrics a little bit. You can see me here absolutely scuffing my Tiger's Fury over and over again until I get the timing right. I open with the good old ambush backstab. He goes immediately into the Thorium Grenade plus Fear, I break it. Feeling good, pretty good in this position. He fears again. That's fine. Breaks early. I charge. Bash the Immolate. Go Cat. Dumping some damage down. Getting the regrowth and decurse off at the last moment before he fears me. Kiting away to get a heal off here. Decurse again. Into the Feral Charge. And at this point I need to burst him. The fear is, I'm a fear immune, so now's the time. Nice, clean win. That's just about as good as a Warlock duel can go for the Feral. I got some lucky crits. I got the fear immune at a good time. Can't ask for much more than that. Good duel. Round 2 is Sasha here. No Innervate, no PvP Trinket. So a little bit of a tough scenario for the Feral. I got Nigel whispering me. He's a good druid, really good druid in his own right. He just happens to be on his warrior. He's being my coach in the corner. Open the duel with ambush backstab, get some enormous crits. He goes into the Voidwalker sacrifice to get the fear off, and then immediately into a bandage. I didn't take much damage, but I decided to top myself off anyway. Clear the curse. Into a Feral Charge to stop the Immolate. He goes into fear. I was meaning to reflect that fear, but I had my trinket, my reflector on the wrong bind key, so I just ate the fear. Little double grenade trade there, you don't see that very often. I was dancing around hoping to Feral Charge something like an Immolate or a Fear, but he doesn't go for it, and I'm not just going to sit around and wait for it. Pretty devastating Death Coil timing from him there. Not much I can do from that point. He's got the win locked in. I absolutely deserved that loss. I bashed when he was on stun DR from the grenade, and I scuffed my reflect, so deserved L there. Round 3 with Sasha. Feeling pretty good. I have my Mithril Insignia on, which means I can't be feared, and it's a really good trinket against a Warlock. I still have to play the matchup pretty well though, because he can still full combo me in a death coil. Open with a big crit and immediately pop my anti-fear trinket. He recognizes it quickly though, good on him. Death coil into the Shadow Bolt cast. Break it with the Feral Charge. Bash the Immolate. Get the Maul off. Top myself off, gotta respect his damage. Right back into Cat. Eviscerate to dump the combo points, and then right into a Bear Power Shift for the Maul. And finish it with the Moonfire. GG, really fun best of 3. I think I played the first and third duel pretty much perfectly. Textbook Feral vs Affliction. I'm proud of how I played. Second duel was a little embarrassing with the trinket fiasco, but what can you do? Everybody makes mistakes. I can't criticize Sasha's play too much. I don't understand the Warlock v Feral matchup as well as Rogue enough to criticize him in any way. So, not much to say on my end there. Good duels. GG was fun. In the finals now against Mitsumi, a mage. He is the Ice Barrier Scorch spec, which is the counter to Druid, but it's a tough fight for him nonetheless. To get to the final rounds, Mitsumi had to beat dafunk, and dafunk's one of the, if not the best Warlock on the server, and Warlock is a counter matchup to Mage. Just going to show you how good Mitsumi is that he beat a very good Warlock, which is his counter, to get to the final round. For this matchup, I decided to go with the Burrower Shell plus Rune of Metamorphosis. When you're fighting a really good Frost Mage, Rune of Metamorphosis just comes in huge. You either need Innervate or Rune, pretty much, to beat them. Open with a fat ambush crit, he blinks away, a Feral Charge, and Bash, he ice blocks to get rid of the Bash. I immediately go into a Rejuve Bandage. All the time spent in Stormwind has created that muscle memory right there. I pop Rune of Metamorphosis, so my shifting is free now. He pops Mithril Dragonling. Interesting choice, honestly, and it kind of threw me off. Impact stun there, stops me for a second. I'm kiting away, trying to get it out of range of his counterspell so I can get a heal off. Right here, I should have paused and taken a moment to kill the Dragonling, but I felt like I was so far ahead that it was unnecessary. And this is where it starts getting a little sloppy for me. I've already burned through my Rune of Metamorphosis, and I really don't want to use Innervate. I'm really hoping to save it for round 2. The Dragonling is actually really annoying right here. It's keeping me from resetting fully with a Stealth or an Eat while I have the Innervate running. Also, it's putting the debuff on me, which makes me take more fire damage. What happens next is kind of interesting. This aggression out of me is completely fake. I'm actually in my death throes. I have no mana, so I have no ability to threaten his health pool. If he completely understood the matchup, he would recognize this moment as the time to stand and scorch me to death with his shield on. Because he failed to recognize that, it allowed me to slip away and get a re-stealth off after his Dragonling died. So now Innervate is down and Rune of Metamorphosis is down. Not the position I wanted to be in the first duel. Kind of like how the Mithril Dragonling threw me off. I think my reset kind of threw him off there. Because the proper response from him was to immediately reset himself, and he didn't do that. Ooh, some big crits. The crowd's loving it. Fun round 1. A little sloppy from me at the beginning. I got myself into a bad position, but I worked my way out of it with some good play too. Mixed bag. At the end of this duel, I was feeling great. Based off that first duel, I could tell Mitsumi didn't completely understand the matchup, and I already have a strong advantage in it, so I knew I had this thing in the bag. For the last and final duel, I decided to go with the old faithful trinket setup. Burrower Shell plus PvP trinket. When I'm going all in against a mage, if I don't have Innervate or Rune, breaking the grenade stun actually adds a huge amount of momentum to the druid, which he needs to seal the deal. For this final match, I'm just going to hold the commentary and let it play out. Enjoy. And just like that, I won the first Era Fight Night tournament. It was a ton of fun. I really enjoyed watching all these great PvPers do their stuff. I want to take a moment and give a huge shout out to dafunk. It's not easy to get 20 PvP rats in the same spot for 2 hours and have them all duel each other. It takes some social skills. So thank you for setting this up. It was really fun and I really enjoyed it. I'm going to throw the tournament brackets on the screen now so everybody can see how the tournament was structured and for posterity. I got some pretty good tournament RNG. The Elemental Shaman and the Soul Link Warlock were both knocked out early, and those two classes probably would have knocked me out. So once they were gone, I pretty much knew the tournament was going to come down to whether I played well or not. So that's pretty cool. All in all, I had a really great time, and I was happy to have won it. If you want to take part in the next one, just talk to funkypot or talk to me, and I'm sure we'll get you in it next time it's happening. They're a ton of fun. Show up for this. It's worth it just to hang out for 2 hours and watch these amazing players do their stuff. It's peak World of Warcraft. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Hope you enjoyed my commentary. Feel free to leave any criticisms of it below. I don't often do it, so I can take any constructive criticism. Once again, this was hosted by dafunk, or funkypot, he's also known as. I'm going to link his Twitch stream below, and I'm going to put it on screen now. Make sure to give him a follow. He was Twitch streaming and commentating this whole thing. I've asked him to open up the VOD. I don't know if you saw that message, but I'm hoping he does open up the VOD. So go check it out. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.